Hello, everybody. It's Lord Magicus. We are back here. We're doing stream night on Wednesday this week because tomorrow I'm going to be on Drunken Peasant, so I will be there, and you can go check that out. That'll be fun. I think they have Scott Henson's coming on again, so yeah, we always have a good time. But tonight it's Legacy time, so let me get these links posted here, and we will get started in just a second. Ah. So, yeah, I'm excited to play some more Legacy. I love Legacy. It is my favorite format. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. We got the link is posted out to the fish people. They know where to find me. Perfect. Excellent. Hopefully, in a minute or two here, we'll see some people show up. But in the meantime, oh yeah, I meant to say this. The community posts I've been having a lot of fun with now. So we've had some pretty interesting polls in that. And so the first one, it's been I think about 2 weeks since I posted it, and it was pretty interesting here. I'm gonna do a snippet here quick. Oops. There we go. This is probably not the best way to do this, but yeah, whatever. Here, this is fine. Look how fine it is. It's so fine. All right, there we go. Which format are we most excited to see Vodalian Hexcatcher in? And it was a pretty competitive poll here. So 51% of you answered Modern, that you are most excited about it for Modern. And that makes sense, because Modern has historically been the more popular format among all these. But we had Pioneer come in at 6% and Explorer at 3%. Shout out to like the three of you that like Pioneer and Explorer apparently. But Legacy came in pretty strong at 40%, and like I for a while I think it was a lot more modern heavy, especially in my channel, but like people really seem to be digging the Legacy Merfolk, and maybe it's just because they've seen it has more potential this past year, so the audience has built a little bit for it. But you know what? That's fine with me. The more people that like Legacy, it gives me more of an excuse to play it. So we get to keep it here often. But yeah, that was a lot closer than I expected it to be. So I have another poll running, and I'll probably let it go for another week. But if you haven't voted in it yet, you should definitely go and do so. And you know what? I will even post the link in the Twitch chat. Here. You can go and vote on this poll. This one, the question is, which of the following Merfolk do you think is the most important card to have in a deck? And it is Silvergill Adept, Merfolk Trickster, Tide Shaper, or Vodalian Hexcatcher. So I'm not going to post the results just yet, but it's, again, a really interesting poll, and I'm really hoping that if you're watching this, you will go into the community tab and vote on the poll. And yeah, for bonus points, explain why you picked that card and if formats had anything to do with your answer for that. So, because I think that it's mostly the same between Modern and Legacy for all four of those cards, because we play all four of them in all the formats. But there's definitely some arguments to be made, and it's again very competitive. I wasn't expecting it, and hopefully when we do our stream next week, I will bring up the results from that. But also here, and I wanted to show this too. Oh, you know, I posted this one on Twitter, yeah. So I actually resleeved my modern deck, so open. Can I do this here easily? Gee, yeah. Hold on. I know how to do this. Give me 1 second. I got this all figured out. It'll be fine. All right. Look how fine it's gonna be. All right, we got this. Let me. I have a thing for this. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I took a picture of my new updated modern list, and I still might change this a little bit. Stoneheart was saying that the Dismembers in the main deck did really well for him instead of the bounce spell, so I might try that. But I'm hoping to be able to play modern sometime next week in paper. That'll be fun. But yeah, it's been a while since I've got to like actually play with my modern paper cards. Been a little bit busy doing other stuff, but yeah, I don't get to play with the awesome, pretty Mutavaults anymore. It's a little bit hard to see with the glare, but they are the full art ones. They're really expensive. But yeah, this got a lot of love, and I appreciate all the people that liked this and posted their comments about it. So I'm gonna try to have at least one community post, and I'll post something every week. So either a poll or ask questions of the audience, or even just posting pretty pictures of cards. So since we unlocked it, we may as well use it, right? Like we got cool stuff to post in there all the time, so why not? So yeah, I think this list is perfectly fine, but like I said, I might try playing like 3 Dismember in the main deck instead of this, and then maybe I don't know, slot something else in the sideboard. Um, the other possibility too is maybe trying to get a third Cavern of Souls in here, but that might also mean that Counterspell has to go because it's going to be very difficult to. Well, I don't know. It's close because 20 lands. If I put one more cavern here, then that would put us down to 14 blue sources, and that is like the absolute minimum you need for counterspell, but it's really better if you're closer to 16 for this. So I don't know. This might not be the counter I want to have if I put a third cavern in, but same time he said that he played 4 caverns and he was like all about that. So basically the legacy mana base where it was like 4 Mutavault and 4 Cavern of Souls. You just 5-0'd with it, so it was pretty awesome. I was happy to see that. Alright, let me get this off of here. So yeah, we do some fun stuff to start off with. Get the stream going. Alright, here we go. Ah, yes, Lord Asex, welcome. Honestly, hard enough to cast a counterspell with this mana base. Yeah, you just don't play with it. I definitely understand that. I think the only thing for me is like I really like having a counter spell that I can cast against stuff like Omnath because it's difficult to deal with. But I don't know, maybe Mystical Dispute would be fine. The only thing is like Mystical Dispute is not great against like the Cascade decks, whereas Counterspell is still early enough where it helps that. Mystical Dispute would be good against like Teferi and Omnath, but it misses Ren in 6, so it's hard to say. Like I don't know what I would replace Counterspell with at the moment. Like Mana Leak gets really really bad into the late game, but yeah, maybe I just don't need more counter. Maybe I just play like one more Force of Negation and then just I don't know something else. But I'd have to figure that out. Still, there's a lot of different variants of the modern build that seem to be doing pretty well for people. So yeah, like I've said for the past couple weeks, like Hexcatcher has been really important to Modern because now the deck is not an embarrassment to play in the format anymore. Merfolk was really, really low, but like it has surged back hard because of Hexcatcher. It has helped a lot, so I'm very happy to see it. But today we're playing with it in Legacy because Legacy is also really fun to play Merfolk in, and again, 40-some% of you really like Legacy, and that makes me happy. So yeah, here's what we're jamming today. Basically, the main deck is essentially the same as last time. We still have our 3 Chalices here, and we're splitting our 1-drops 3 Tide Shapers with 3 Cursecatchers, just because 1-drops have a little bit more synergy when you're playing extra Lords in the deck, and also Cursecatcher protects Chalice, so it helps when you curve out against Delver by going like Cursecatcher into Chalice. So I think the main deck is perfectly fine. I don't think I really want to make any changes to it. Yes, I think 7 Island Walk Lords is probably fine, and then I don't know, maybe like you could tweak the numbers of the lords. Maybe you want like 3 Hexcatcher, 4 Lord. I doubt that. I feel like this is probably close enough. Maybe like you only play 5 1-drops and you play all 12 Lords. Who knows? This has got to be within like 1 card of being correct. So I don't know what the 1 card is, but it's close enough for me where I'm happy to just run it back. And because the only thing we lost to last time was Reanimator, so I wanted to make sure I came with a better plan for that. Because I'm tired of losing to Reanimator, because we shouldn't be losing that matchup. It is supposed to be really good for us. So, to that end, I did change the sideboard a little bit, and I noticed last time we played Legacy, I screwed up and I was missing the 4th Chalice, I think. I don't think it was terribly necessary, but I only ran 14 cards, and that was an oops, but I decided, you know what, well, we didn't need it that badly, maybe we're not going to play the 4th one, so instead, I made some tweaks here. So what I'm on 2 Mistcallers, and then 2 Faerie Macabres. So the Macabres are 0 mana on the draw things that you can play against them. It does go through Chancellor of the Annex, but it seems like most of the Reanimator lists these days are not even playing Chancellor in the main deck. Like, a couple of them have it in the sideboard, or maybe one main deck, but like, it really seems like they're a lot heavier on the Archon plan, where they're just like 4 Grizzlebrand, like 4 Archons, maybe like 3 Archons, 1 Sarah Emissary, and like that's what they're hoping is going to carry them to victory. So the thing with Mistcaller is that it is hate against Reanimator that you can play in turn 1. It doesn't work on the draw, but it does work on the play, so that's fine. But their main thing that they play in order to hate out all of this stuff like Grafdigger's Cage and Leyline of the Void and Rest in Peace, they play Serenity. So it's their 2 mana enchantment that at the beginning of their upkeep, it just destroys all artifacts and enchantments. So if you're expecting Leyline of the Void to help you against that deck, it buys you like a turn or two. Like assuming if they find the Serenity, like the Leyline is going to go away and they will attempt to combo off. And usually if you have to mulligan to Leyline, it's not very good because you don't usually have a whole lot of it. You generally have to mulligan at least, some of your pressure away for that. So imagine you're on 5 cards and one of them is Leyline. It's like, what are you hoping to do? You have like maybe 1 or 2 threats that you can even play. And that gives them a ton of time to find the answer to it. So I wanted something that I could proactively put into play that their Serenity would not actually destroy and that would still remain a threat to their deck. And it turns out Mistcaller is actually the card that I think does that job. So that's why we're going to try this. Yeah, so you sacrifice it. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. So if they go for their reanimate, you just sacrifice the Mistcaller, and then when the creature just gets exiled instead of coming into play. It's perfect. It does everything we need to do. They have, as far as I know, they have basically no answers to this card, so once it gets into play, if they don't have a creature in play, this will just deal with whatever the first thing is they try to put into play. So it does buy you a bunch of time, and it's also something that attacks for damage, so you can play like Mistcaller plus Lord of Atlantis, and that's a clock. So they might have to just burn like, a reanimate spell and a creature in their graveyard just, to get rid of this thing. And that's a pretty huge commitment for them, so helps a lot. But the trick against a lot of combo decks is being able to put things into play, having pressure, and then having disruption in your hand. If you have like a combination of all 3 of those things, that will do a lot of damage to them. Stuff like Chalice of the Void on 1, or even on 2 sometimes, like can be very good against them, because that is that's something you put into play that hurts them. If you're on the play, you might even consider putting it on 0, just turn off like the Lotus Petals, or Chrome Mox if for some reason they decide they're on that build. But yeah, this Mistcaller it adds to the in-play component, which if we're not playing like Grafdigger's Cage, this is something that kind of replaces it, and it's a lot harder for them to remove this because they're mostly expecting people to play artifacts and enchantments that disrupt them, not necessarily creatures. So, works well in our strategy. We can play it with Cavern of Souls. We can vial it in with Aether Vial and really just surprise them like that. Works pretty nice. Though, to be honest, if I have this in my opening hand, I'm probably playing this before I play the Aether Vial just to be safe. So, yeah, and then Faerie Macabre, like, again, it works. It's more 0 mana disruption in your hand. It pairs well with the forces for that purpose. And then the other card that I changed here is I decided to add 2 Harbinger of the Tides, and I'm doing that because I want something that can help fight against like Delver and the fair decks a little bit. And I think Harbinger is like fine. I've played this, on and off this year, and this card seems like it's okay. It's never been like amazing, but I think it's a reasonable card to bring in against them sometimes. Yeah, like against Delver, I'm not a huge fan of having Force of Wills and 2-for-1ing myself, but I would much rather have something that I can put into play uncounterably. So, unlike Brazen Bar, where they can't, like, Force of Negate it or, Force of Will it, because you can just use Cavern of Souls or Aether Vial to put it into play. And yeah, the counter spells don't work, so then you guaranteed get your bounce effect off when you need it to reset something like, say, Murktide Regent. In addition, it's also something that, like, similar to Brazen Borrower, you can bring it in against the Death and Taxes decks, like with Stoneforge Mystic. It's not awful. It's a 2/2 for 2, but it also has, enter the battlefield effect, so it helps the tempo plan a little bit. Mistcaller does, like, have a little bit of application against those decks too, because, like, against Taxes, you can use it if they activate Vial, you can sacrifice it, so they effectively lose a Vial activation, so that's nice tempo. So if they ever, like, Flicker Wisp something out of play, then you can sack the Mistcaller so it just doesn't come back ever. Or same thing, and it also does it with Yorion too. If they play, like, Yorion and blank all their stuff out, and then you have Mistcaller, you can sacrifice it, and they don't get any of that stuff back. Or at least not the creatures, so it's not likely that they'll run into that, but it does something, so it's probably better than, like, Chalice of the Void against Death and Taxes, so we're gonna play it. I think that we bring that card in against them. It's got to be better than Cursecatcher at least, like, for sure. This card is, like, literally just a 1/1 that does nothing against their deck. Mistcallers, at least, it has relevant text that does a thing sometimes. The other deck that it actually might be helpful against, not that we necessarily need help against this deck, but can slow down the Sneak and Show deck, simply because they can't show and tell a creature into play with Mistcaller, because if in response to it you just you can exile, or you sacrifice the Mistcaller, so if they try to put, like, Emrakul or Bristlebrand in play with, like, a show and tell, it won't work. They can still put Omniscience into play that way, or you can also sacrifice it in response to them activating Sneak Attack. So they can't, so you can effectively use it to counter one activation of Sneak Attack, because they can still reactivate it, like, in response to that. Or if they don't have the mana, they just won't put the creature in. So it's not useless against their deck, but I don't think that it's, like, super amazing by any means. But it does interact with some stuff. But this is, like, 90% just anti-reanimator permanent, so that's why we're testing it today. So there we go. That's what we got going on with this. So yeah, I'll bring my chat back up here. Can't wait to get back into Legacy. I mean, when Standard goes into full swing. I haven't been playing a lot of Standard, but my understanding is that Standard has been a shit show, and that's largely because of like, Meat Hook Massacre. Yeah, it just seems insane to me right now. Also, it seems insane to me that, like, anybody still plays Standard, to be honest. But I don't know. Ever since, like, War of the Spark, I have not really given a shit about Standard, and I've not paid any attention to it whatsoever. I remember when, like, Standard was this whole thing, and, like, there were game days, and, like, you would go and you try to win the special playmat, and it was like, it really felt like this huge, awesome special thing, and it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Like, there were promos. They had, like, there were months where they would run F&Ms where, okay, come bring your Standard deck and try to win a Path to Exile or Sam Visions, when those cards were actually worth something. They had, like, special foils of them. It's like, okay, so you get your prizes for first. In addition, you also can, like, win a Path to Exile. It was like, that was actually really cool. Like, we need that. Like, that's the sort of thing. Like, I guess the promos for game day are just, I don't know, it doesn't feel the same anymore. There was a while I think they actually took away the playmats, and then I think they might have brought them back, but, like, I'm not sure. Okay. We are playing against Yorion the Sky Nomad, which we can't keep this. We only have one land, so I'm not sure if this is going to be Taxes or if this is going to be like an Uro deck. It could be an Esper Vial deck, but My guess is probably taxes. That's the most likely one. I don't think that, yeah, like this is, if this is against taxes, like these are generally useless, and we're not casting anything. We have no pressure against them, so we have one Tide Shaper, and that's not going to do it. We're absolutely going to mulligan this hand. Oh my god. Yes, yes, I know. Do it. We're waiting for them to make their decision. Um, they mulled to 6. Well, we're gonna mull to 6 as well. I think that we keep this. I don't know. It's this is still not amazing by any means. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Sorry. And others. So what? They kept 6 cards. I think that I'm supposed to keep this. Could put Force of Will in the bottom. Well, okay. So how do we do this? Could put Master of the Pearl Trident in the bottom. If we're up against taxes, we might try. We are on the draw here, so maybe we have to like force Aether Vial, play the Cursecatcher, and then try to play like Chalice in one. All right, I think it's not a great plan, but we're gonna do it. We don't know what we're up against yet, so we both of us have mulled to 6. I think that it's taxes. Okay, this might be Stoneforge Mystic here. Okay, that's a little bit helpful. All right, well, we still got to play the Cursecatcher, I think. So, like, if we can play the Chalice on one... Oh, wait, do they not have another land? Oh, God. Well, that's not going to go well for them, because they're not casting fucking 1-drops anytime soon. And I will keep them from playing, like, Aether Vial or playing, like, Mother of Runes. They need, like, a Cavern of Souls, but I have a Wasteland to fight back against that. And actually, I think for that reason, in case they draw Wasteland, I think that I need to use my Wasteland to cast this, and then I can play Cavern maybe next turn. It's still not impossible that this is, like, not taxes, though. Alright, so... But either way, they probably have Swords of Plowshares, and this will turn it off, so... Okay, Vista means that this might actually be a Brainstorm deck. No? Okay, so what the hell is playing Vista plus Plains? Yeah, blue-white X Urion is a thing. That is possible. Okay, so they do have Thalia. I don't think I really care about Thalia here. That's not going to do anything. Um... Hmm. I think that I could attack with the Cursecatcher, and if they block it, like, I could just have it trade. But I could also just use Tide Shaper, and I think that Tide Shaper is probably the way to go. Yeah, I agree. Well, the only other thing is, like, I might want to play Master first, in case they, like, Wasteland my Cavern of Souls. If I play the Tide Shaper, that still probably hurts them more, because keeping them off of 2 white has got to be helpful. Yeah, it would suck if they Wasteland it. Yeah, I don't know, that's difficult. I think that they're struggling for land, so they might not even be inclined to do that. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, let's give ourselves Island Walk, because that is one of the ways that we can win this match. If they cast Stoneforge Mystic, I do have to force a will that. And I left myself the mana to do so. Okay, for 3. I mean, this could be like Skyclave Apparition. Uh, no. Yeah, we're not doing that. Alright, this seems like this is going to work out here. Alright, well, they can't take away my Island Walk, so I can just attack for 5. And if they don't really have anything else, then we might just win. I don't know. It's still possible they have stuff, but I mean, another Island Walk Lord is very possibly enough. Oh no, they don't have much. Okay, I'm not going to block that. It seems silly to attack. Okay, that one's going to happen, so we might be seeing Cauldron complete. Or Batterskull. Batterskull would actually work. Umezawa was Jite. Okay, that's interesting. Fuck, I don't have the mana for this right now. But they don't have the mana to equip the Jite either. It's not bad. If we draw a land next turn, that could be fine. Alright, well, they're not going to block any of this, so... They have to draw a land, right, to be able to play Jite and equip it. No, yeah, to put it into play with this and equip Thalia and attack. But if they don't have another land, they just lose, so... Skyclave? Fuck. Alright, yeah, that's a thing. Can't do anything about that. They take away Master here, so a Lord off the top will do it. Alright. Yeah. It is a little bit weird. That's not the worst. Okay. I guess we're just passing here. Again, we're still really close to winning this game, so... Okay, so go ahead and attack. Yeah, I don't think they can. So here, I think I just tap Thalia down. Do I even use the Trickster yet? Like, I guess I can, because I can attack with these. Yeah, I can attack with these. Yeah, I think I just tap Thalia. Drawing a land here is still good. Yeah, that's actually great. We just attack with these two. If they trade with... Or actually, I think we only attack with the Trickster. If they trade the Skyclave with it, we still get a 2-2 back at least, so we can keep our pressure up. But then assuming they're going to put Jite in play, next turn equip it, and I can just like Otawara and bounce whatever they equip it to. I don't think I want to lose my Island Walk. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter, because, like, what? If they trade with the Tide Shaper, are they going to take 2 here? I think that maybe the point of Island Walk... Yeah, we don't need to worry about this anymore. Like, we're in a winning enough position. Fuck them. I get a 2-2 back off of this, right? Yeah. So, like, no, even if they block here, like, What are they gonna do? Block with Stoneforge, put GT into play. They have exactly Thalia left, and like I just Otawara it back to their hand, and they die. Doesn't seem great. Okay, they're just fucking blocking incorrectly. That's fine with me. They took 2 and they let me keep Island Walk. That is like the worst possible way they could have done this. Sure. You can put your GT in. The only thing I gotta be careful about is if now there's some possibility if they like drew Batterskull, I could be in trouble here. So Island Walk would still seal it though. If they play a land, then they could definitely or they could Stoneforge in a Batterskull. But it seems like they haven't drawn lands at all, so we're doing pretty well here. Like equipping GT to this and then attacking isn't actually doing anything. I just bounce Thalia back to their hand, and that's the game. Yeah, then I just attack with all 3 things, like Stoneforge blocks a 2/2 and they take 3 and die. Assuming they don't have another land. So they're probably limited to doing exactly 1 thing this turn. I guess if they had Flicker Wisp, that would not be great, because they could get rid of the token and they have another blocker. But I feel like if they did, they would be doing it way sooner than this. Interesting. Okay. That's surprising. Okay. I'm pretty sure I just bounce the Umezawa's GT back to their hand and then block this thing now. Yep, goodbye Stoneforge Mystic. Well, they had another land, so... Okay, going to 2 here. What does this mean? Like, what do you have? I mean, if they have another creature, they still stay alive. Okay, Spirit of the Labyrinth. Neat. Alright, so they're still alive, so we need something. I mean, that will do it. Alright, what's the best way to do this? We can put them to 1 life here. Is there anything they can possibly draw that I care about? I don't think so. I guess Council's Judgment, possibly, but I can't play around that anyway. Yeah, like the best thing that could happen if I attack with everything, they'll trade this, they'll just take 1. I don't think that they have... Actually, hold on. Is Charming Prince something I need to be worried about? I think that gains them 2 life, right? So that might be a reason to attack here. Now, Charming Prince gains them 3 life. Okay. So they would go to 5. Though, again, there still might be good reason to do that, because if we attack them down to 1 and they played, like, say, Charming Prince, go up to 4, a Lord would still let True-Name Nemesis kill them, so it is still probably worth attacking them to 1. Alright. Just trying to play around as many possible draws that they have. Like here, GT doesn't do anything because True Name can just block, and they won't get any counters to gain life. So playing GT, equipping and attacking is not an option for them. So they concede. There we go. All right, well that's good. We got game 1, and The rare time when Chalice of the Void actually looked like it was doing something. Most of the time, Chalice is not actually that good, but we got to see it do something here. Alright. So Harbinger of the Tides and Dismember probably are fine. Cursecatcher is actually really poor. I'm not a huge fan of Force of Will, but at the same time, it does... Like, we probably need it to counter Stoneforge Mystic. So, like, I do need to probably keep it in, even though I don't really like that card very much here. The other consideration is maybe the Hurkyl's Recalls. Oh yeah, we definitely. I'm sorry, we definitely want the other Mistcallers instead of Cursecatchers. Yeah, you're correct. We mentioned that in the tech, right? We know these things. So yeah, the only other question is, do I want Hurkyl's Recall? And I actually don't know that I necessarily do yet. Null Rod does turn off GT and equip abilities, but they're playing like Batterskull and Cauldron Complete, which Null Rod does not interact with at all, so I'm not hugely a fan of it. It does work at the GT, but I don't know. It's maybe that's fine. It kills their vial, but it also does kill our Aether Vial, so I don't like. There's nothing in particular that I really want to take out at this point. So I think I need Force by Necessity. Like, I'm pretty sure all the rest of these cards are just okay enough on their own. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll change our minds if they show us more stuff. So, I think that I'm fine with it like this. So we just bring in 4 cards that, like, interact with their deck and 2 1-drops that are slightly better than Cursecatchers. I mean, this is probably okay. There's a very high probability if they're playing Aether Vial in turn 1 that I'm just supposed to force it here. But I don't. If they have Wastelands or ports, this could get to be an issue. For that reason, I might actually want to keep Tideshaver to cast it for 2 mana. Okay, they don't have Vial, so that's good. Merfolk. That does mean that, like... Alright, this is I'm thinking I'm going to keep Tideshaper for the time being. It might be Force Food, or at some point we might use it on one of their lands and Island walk our way to victory. Usually, if you can get True-Name Nemesis in play really early, that is a great way to win the game. So, Rishadan port, okay. So they'll probably, like, they might just port, but I guess if they play Thali here, I can just counter it. Oh no, we definitely have to force this. I think here I'm going to pitch the Lord of Atlantis, and I'm going to cast the Tideshaper on their planes. Because that's going to hurt them the most. And then if they try to port me, I can flash in a Hexcatcher in response. Alright. If we're lucky, they don't have another white source and they just can't cast spells. Nope, there's a Mesa. Alright, they can tutor for 1, so it's not going to be Skyclave here, at least. It might be Swords to Plowshares on a Tideshaper and then playing something. They got a Plateau. That means they're opening themselves up to Wasteland. Alright, so they are going to use the Swords. That's fine. And then if this is like the port here. This didn't really work out for them. Alright. But if we need to kind of draw another land, so... Like, I really want to play both of these cards. Alright, so we'll see what they do here. If they want to play a 2-drop, they do have to, like, not have port up, so... If we draw the island, it might give us a chance. Do I even care that much about this? I don't think that I do. Sure, you killed off one of my creatures. That's not really the way that you win this game. Okay, we need to draw a land here so we can cast... Oh, fuck. Alright, well... As soon as we get our third land, we can then maybe play Silvergill Adept or something. Fuck. I think that... I think I do have to force this. Because I want them to have to choose between porting me or playing spells. I guess I'm gonna pitch Master. That's the least important card right now. If I draw a land, I can play Silvergill. Yeah, and then if I draw 2 lands, I can play True-Name. And this card's too important, I think, to pitch right now. Alright, well, fuck. Are they gonna find... Oh, they found land number 4 before us. Such terrible luck. And they even... How did you not have that before? Okay. It is whatever. Like, we're just kind of looking for islands here. Alright, well, Trickster, at least we can play it on our upkeep, but... This is the classic Death and Taxes strategy. If they can find Wasteland, they're probably going to win the game. If they waste us first, like, we are in a lot of trouble. They put Urion in hand here. Alright. Nope. We gotta put something on the board first. God, if we find Wasteland, though, we'll be in much better shape. Okay, yeah, they're gonna give it pro blue. I think they should give it pro black, actually. That would be the correct choice. Because as far as they know, like, we could have Dismember. If we draw a land, we might Dismember this thing. I don't think giving it pro blue does anything meaningful here. They chose blue for no apparent reason. I don't know. Hold on. Turn off auto yields. Alright. I don't want to... Come on. Land! Fuck. Alright. Well, it's not useless, but it's still not exactly what we needed here. It's a little bit late for this vial. Alright. It's okay. I think they're just trying to just mana screw us here. Oh, why would you not port me here? What does this mean? Okay, well, you're going to give me an opportunity. I'm going to take it. I'm going to cast this. I will show you Master the Pearl Trident. Yes, we are playing Merfolks. Come on, land. What are you going to do for 5? Solitude? Okay, I mean, that's fine. I kind of expected they probably had something like this, but drawing a card I think was more... Oh, fuck me. This is not a land! Come on, deck. Yeah. That means they're going to tap out at least one more turn. Oh, fuck. Alright, we lose. They have Wasteland plus Rishon import. We've lost the game now, so, like, we can't cast spells anymore. I have to block this thing. No, actually, they're going to give it pro blue. It doesn't matter, but... Like, yeah, like, it's... If we don't block it, they're just going to blink it with Urion anyway, so we're just saving ourselves life, I guess, but... I don't know. This is all terrible. If we can draw the lands, like, we have hope if we cast the Vial. So I don't want to give up yet, but alright, here. We have a chance. But they might just be holding back, like, Skyclave Apparition to get rid of this thing, or Flicker Wisp, so... Okay, Spirit of the Labyrinth, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about something happening to my Vial. Sure. Yes, tick it up. All right, if we can stick Vial. Okay, that actually does help. Um, I think here we just blow up their Rishid import. Maybe they just don't have any better cards than Spirit right now. I'm definitely blowing up this fucking port. All right, we're back in this, baby. We can get up to True-Name Nemesis. We can brick wall this thing. We just have to hope that they can't cast Yurion. They haven't drawn lands for a few turns, so there's hope. There's Skyclave. That's kind of what I was worried about. They're going to go after my Vial here. I mean, it gives us hope because I can at least play a creature next turn. The Mother of Runes is going to make it hard. They're on a 4-turn clock because they can make this thing unblockable. Okay, that fuck. I think I have to play True-Name here because that's the only thing that stems the bleeding. All right, next turn we'll just play the other True-Name and a Lord and hope that that's enough. So if they attack with both of these, they can protect one of them. Otherwise they can just attack with this, and then that's fine. Oh god, all right. I think that's probably GG. They have fucking Mother of Runes, plus they're gonna get the Cauldron, and I don't have an answer to this. The Otawara we got their lands a little bit too late. Their board is they're just gonna put this into play and give it protection from blue, and I can't actually stop the thing. No matter what I block, they're just gonna give it protection, so I'm taking 5 damage, but like I'm dead next turn anyway. Sadly, unless maybe if I draw Harbinger of the Tides right now, Harbinger could keep me alive for like another turn. Okay, so we're not dead yet. So what I need to do right now, I have to bounce the Mother of Runes so that it can't give protection to any creatures next turn. Is that going to be enough though? I don't know if it's enough because if they replay this thing, it's still going to be bad. Oh no, but the other problem is that like they can just put Cauldron Complete into play and I can't block it. Like it's going to destroy my True-Name Nemesis, so well, yeah, the problem is that because Cauldron Complete has Trample, like True-Name is not actually brick walling that, and I can't use Harbinger to stop it either. So like I'm pretty sure that no matter what I do, I'm actually just losing here. But you're right. I think you're correct that like the only thing that I can attempt here is a trick with Harbinger. Like if they try to give one of the creatures protection from blue that like, like this or something. They don't have to though. They can attack for 7 here, so. I actually might not want to tell them that I have Harbinger. Because they can put the Cauldron in, attack with everything, and that will just do it. Give them a chance to make a mistake, maybe, but this is still a board state. We've like 100% lost. They'd have to screw up really, really badly for the rest of the entire game, and I don't think it's going to happen. Alright. Alright, I believe you. Alright, you know what you're doing. I'm not going to change anything. We're just going to do this again. We definitely had a very good chance of winning that game if we drew a land like any turn earlier than we had found it, but it's a little bit too. They found the Wasteland before we found our third land, so that was it. We were basically both just trying to top deck something first, and they found theirs. Which, whatever, that's fine. But we get to be on the play for the third game, so that's a plus. This isn't stupid. I'm not putting for... This is really bad if they have Wasteland, though. I feel like I can't... Like, I don't know. I don't really want to risk this, because, like, if they have a single Wasteland on Otawara, we just lose the game. Ugh, God. This is going to put us in exactly the same scenarios last... Yeah, I can't. If it was like... this is much better. I can easily keep this. I can just put Wasteland in the bottom and be much happier with this hand. Like, I would have kept that other hand with, like, 2 islands. That would have been okay. This is much better, so... I like this art better, so we're going to put this one on the bottom. But, we will very easily get up to True-Name Nemesis mana, and hopefully that will be enough. We will be careful to play our islands first, so that way they don't wasteland us off of 3 mana. Here comes Aether Vial. Yeah, can't do anything about that. I don't want to show them the true name just yet. Okay. And I guess if they play a non-basic here, I will probably Wasteland and Lord of Atlantis first. I feel like they're probably going to play, like, Plains if they have it. Or they could have kept a greedy 1-land hand with Vial. That would be incredibly awesome if that's the case. So that would give us so much time to beat their face in with True Name. Yep, alright. So actually, we do have to be careful because they showed us before that they actually have Pyroblast, and I don't want to run this out into Pyroblast. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play the Lord of Atlantis, and I think that will encourage them to Pyroblast this thing instead of True Name if they have it. And then I will play Aether Vial, and then next turn I can worry about playing True Name Nemesis, because this seems like a much better plan. We'll see if they get the plateau, because then I can just Wasteland it and play this in, like, second main phase next turn. They're not playing basic mountain as far as I know, but they are playing a plateau, so... Okay, see, look, they're gonna Pyroblast this 1,000 fucking %. No, they have a basic mountain! Okay, no, I lied. I guess they really had it, so... Alright. I would rather them burn that on the Lord. Honestly, I would not have expected them to play this. Like, their deck already plays so many colorless lands, it's hard to, like, I guess because it's a Urion list, it's a little bit easier to justify a 1-of basic mountain, but this card is basically a waste for them outside of this. I found it really weird. Alright, it's fine. Question is, do you have a second one? Because I'm probably not going to play around them having a second one. Right, maybe if I draw another Silvergill, I will play that instead. Because I could potentially draw, like, Silvergill and then draw, like, Lord off of that, and that would be a better use of my turn. And I think that I'm probably playing True Name based on what they do here. There's a Prismatic Vista. Alright, so maybe they're going to play Skyclave? Which means they were not going to Pyroblast the Lord. No, Recruiter of the Guard. Alright, that's not great. Means they're probably going to get Stoneforge and then Vial and Stoneforge. And then use Stoneforge to get Kaldra. So we do have a race in our hands. You're very careful to get the basic plains here and the basic mountain. Which was very smart, because if they got the plateau, I was 1000% going to wasteland it. Flicker Wisp. What? How is that the card that you're getting with this? I don't understand. Are you just trying to chain Flicker Wisp into Recruiter? Alright. I guess. That might make sense. Maybe they already have, like, Stoneforge in their hand. Ooh, that's really good. Fantastic. Alright. And I think because... Oh, you know what? They could have Thalia here. If I attack with the Silvergill, they might Vial in Thalia and then block, so I'm not going to do that. However, if they... Yeah, I think I gotta keep the Dismember in my hand for the time being. If they have Stoneforge Mystic and they try to put, like, Cauldron, I'm gonna have to just take a hit. Or I could Dismember this thing right now, actually. You know what? Just it's hard because they also have the Flicker Wisp too. So, like, in a certain sense, they're getting Batterskull. Ooh, fuck. I feel like I have to Dismember Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, because if they have Batterskull, then that means they're planning to put it on the Flicker Wisp, and that's going to be really bad for us. So let's kill this thing right now. Yeah, this way, if they have to get to 5 lands here without any non-basic, so, like, they have to draw at least one more basic land before they can get to 5. Alright. So they tick up Vial to 3 so they can get Flicker Wisp here. So I'm assuming they're going to Flicker Wisp, Recruiter the Guard, and probably get, like, I don't know, maybe another Stoneforge. That is one line for them. But I need to keep Batterskull off the board for as long as possible. I gotta start hitting them with True-Name. Ideally, if we can find another True-Name, that would be great. But eventually, Batterskull is going to get equipped to the Flicker Wisp, and then we're going to be in trouble. So that's going to gain them a bunch of life in the air that we can't deal with. Otawara would help a little bit. Yep, there's the Flicker Wisp. Why are they casting it? They have the Vial on 3 they could have easily done something with. Alright, so I guess maybe they're going to chain it. They're going to, like, get another Flicker Wisp. They do have, like, yeah, they can get incredibly, like, awesome value from, like, just chaining, like, these things together, so. They did get another Flicker Wisp here, so I'm assuming they're just going to play that, and yeah, so they're trying to put as much flying power in play as possible right now. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. I was worried that this might be a thing they do, but it's either that or Stoneforge, and, like, neither of them are particularly amazing choices. They fetched Tears with the planes up, so I'm assuming this means they have Swords to Plowshares. They're going to Swords my Silvergill almost definitely. So let's attack. I don't think that was a good trade for them. Okay. You're going to get another one of these things, like... They took 3 flying damage off of their clock for that. Peacekeeper, oh fuck. Alright, we're fucked. Alright, we're going to need Merfolk Trickster or Dismember. This is a problem card. What's going to happen now is they can just keep everything from attacking until the point at which they choose. Alright. Sure. This means their own creatures can't attack either, so... It's kind of a weird thing for them. Because they can't interact with my board at all. Alright, Wasteland, sure. I don't want them having 5 mana here, so whatever. The 3 like being on 3 doesn't really matter that much. Like I would prefer more to. Oh fuck! They cycled the Timeless Dragon. That's bad. That's gonna eternalize. Well, again, they can't attack yet, so interesting. I guess I should just turn off this. They're gonna wait until they can kill me with flying damage, I imagine. It's not that we can't win. We do have like Merfolk Trickster, but they're gonna, yeah, like it's gonna be very hard because now they're inclined to just wait. There's nothing I can particularly do here. They'll sacrifice this only when they have a lethal board state, I imagine. At least we get to turn off of, yeah. Oh, they do have the Mother of Runes turning off the Peacekeeper. That is a huge problem, yeah. So we need to have, like, what, tricks? Oh, no, we need, like, Otawara, I guess. That would work. That is a creature. Here comes Urion. Alright, yeah, that trigger's still gonna happen no matter what. I guess maybe if I draw another Trickster, potentially that's something. But this is now getting very dangerous because they are amassing a lot of flying damage here. And with Mother of Runes protecting it, that's a problem. They're getting another Mother of Runes. That is bad. So they are going to attack here. Interesting. All right. They get in 7. This matchup is usually pretty close. Like, I wouldn't say either side is like hugely advantaged. There's a lot of counterplay to this. I guess I can force them to tap the Mother of Runes and I'm just trying to think because okay, what do they do with the Peacekeepers? Do they let this go? It's not where the hell is it? What happened? Oh, it is in exile right now. How is it in exile? This I mean, yeah, well that is one option. What I'm trying to figure out is oh, they flicker wisped it. Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out if there's any possible way I can win this game. I think that I actually need to Trickster the Mother of Runes. And then hope that I can deal with this next turn and somehow find a way. Oh god, it's not gonna be. I don't know if it matters. Like, I guess if I use Trickster, they'll tap it and protect this thing. But it doesn't seem like that's winning because I don't think anything I draw is gonna allow me to kill them. They're at 12. Sadly, I agree. I think I do have to just chill here. Taking 7 is not good. But I don't have an alternative at the moment. Yeah, there's Batterskull, and that is a problem. This has to stay on 2. I don't think that does anything. They have the mana here to just equip the Batterskull onto a flying creature, and I just die. And they're gonna just let the Peacekeeper go away, so... yeah, I think we're just dead, and there's nothing we can do about this. It was close. We had good games. We got, like, mana screwed in game 2, and it was just, like... That game was so close to winnable if we could just draw the one land, but they found Wasteland before we could find literally any land. It's rough. It happens sometimes, but it's still pretty close. They were playing the Peacekeeper, though. That was clutch. Like, I don't know how many decks, like, play it, but I know the Aether Vial decks like to play that card a lot. Peacekeeper is definitely one of the hardest things, and when they have Mother Runes to protect it, it's even worse. So, yeah, it's just how it is sometimes. Yeah, it is a good tutor target to pick up with Recruiter of the Guard, so what are you going to do? The 61 card special. Okay, well, we're not keeping this. This hand is a concession. They're keeping 7. This hand is a concession. Alright, we gotta keep this, and... Jeez, alright, I don't know what they're doing here. So I don't know if the Lord or the Trickster is worth more. I'm gonna say the Trickster. I don't know what we're up against. They were playing 61 cards, that's it. That's all we know. Yeah, and it's definitely not oops all spells if they played a land, so... Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, good. We're up against Turbo Depths. Okay, we just lose. No, they're going to Thespian stage and kill us. Unless we can draw Wasteland exactly like right now. Okay, well that helps a little bit. If they attack with the Knight of the Relic... Well, they're not going to attack with this thing. They're just going to sacrifice Savannah and try to win the game. But I guess if they do decide to attack with the Knight, we can try to kill it with Trickster. Well, that's bad. They have the fucking Wombo combo here. Wasteland plus Ramanap Excavator, so these Cavern of Souls are not going to do very much. Chances are not very good when they have both Knight and Thespian stage in the board. Yep. They might just Wasteland their own flagstones. I'm not particularly inclined to play this Cavern right now, so... I will, however, attack with the Merfolk Trickster in the off chance that they're dumb enough to block. Then I'll Vial in the Lord and kill it that way. I am probably just ticking this thing up to 3. I don't know. That's still not even a great choice by itself. I don't know. We might have to. I get the feeling that it probably doesn't. Oh god, now we're really screwed here. I think this just means they have Merit Lodge. Right? As they sacrifice this with the Knight, they get the Dark Depths. Because this is a forest here for this. This also gets them another land, so like they have the mana. Like, we are actually just facing down to Merit Lodge if they have the Dark Depths. Alright. Okay, yeah, attacking doesn't do anything here. The Knight is too big. Let's see. Show me a Dark Depths. Is that... No? Okay, maybe they don't have depths in their deck. Oh, wait, no, they didn't search. No, they searched for the other one first. Never mind. All right. Now this one will find it, for sure. For sure it will find it, because then... They got a Wasteland. Okay, so no depths. Okay. I'm really surprised by that. Endurance? I think I'm okay with this. I mean, this could... Okay, so I feel like I should be dead by now, but for some reason I'm not. Alright, go Merfolk Hexcatcher. Take away my Cavern. Well, they can't... I guess attacking in is dangerous. I don't know. I guess they just must not have Dark Depths in their main deck. Or maybe Depths is in their hand, so they couldn't search for it this turn. But I felt like they would have played it if so. So my only conclusion is that despite them having 61 cards, Depths was not one of them. And they know that I have True-Name, so they're just not attacking here. So our hope to win is drawing more True-Name Nemesis. Sure. Alright, this thing is probably going to attack me for a lot more than they're going to attack me for. Let's put them to 12. Like, what are they going to do? Attack with these two dummies? Like, I don't think they're attacking for 18, so... I can reasonably attack with one of them, but... That gives me more possibilities of, like, Trickster and attack with the team and then potentially threaten lethal. So I think I have to attack here, because... Alright. Unless they just, for some reason, didn't realize they... Why the fuck didn't you do that last turn? Come on. You could have done that before. Why didn't you? You had Yavimaya. Like, this thing tapped for mana. Like, you had everything you needed to do it. Alright, they have the depths. Alright, this match is a bad matchup. I don't understand. I'm not pretending to understand. Like, this is just what the fuck is going on. Alright, Dismember and Harbinger, I guess. Chalice is not really where we want to be. Cursecatcher is not really where we want to be, and I guess they do have Green Sun Zenith, so this is still probably better than Cursecatcher. The only other question is, like, if we want Faerie Macabre, and I don't know. It's tough. I don't think that we do. I think otherwise we just have to keep this as is. This is kind of the same way. I guess they could have been gathering information, like, sure, maybe. They could have just won the game, though. Like, they were giving me, I don't know, chances to, like, find something. I think, in general, if you have the ability to just win the game, you should do it. And trying to, like, stick around and gather information is, like, needlessly dangerous, and you can cost yourself a match that way. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, True-Name Nemesis is our primary way of winning the non-blue deck. So, like, this is a bad matchup for us, but at the same time, this is exactly like True-Name is what we have to do to win. This is not very good. I think like this is yeah. I think this is really poor. I need to do better than this. Oh god. All right. Well, we're going to 5 and we just lose. All right. We got 4 cards here. All right, cool. This is not a game. They're keeping like this is almost not even worth trying. Like, what do we do here? We just keep like Aether Vial, land, and 2 creatures. Sure. This is absolutely pointless. Like, come on. That was just horseshit. I know that we were probably gonna lose the game anyway, but still, come on, MTGO. Why are you doing me like this? Deal. They did that with such glee. They have Reclaimer. You know what? I don't even care what my top card is. If they have Reclaimer, they're going to get Merit Lodge in play long before we can ever do anything. So, not even a question. Oh well. It's yeah, like that particular version of that deck is probably it's the bad one, especially if they have Sylvan Safekeeper. That one can be a huge problem too. Uh, I don't expect to usually do well against depths. Our deck's primary thing is beating up in like Storm and like the Jeskai decks, which there are admittedly a lot of, but we haven't played them in a while, so that's not true. You know what? We played a Storm and a Jeskai last time, so well, I think we haven't played like Delver in forever, and like that's a match where I think we're pretty close to doing well. And like, admittedly, like it's one of the best decks, and it is probably like the best deck in the format for a reason. But I think we do well enough against it to not be embarrassed, especially if they're not an experienced Delver player, because like Merfolk will absolutely capitalize on even like a single terrible mistake that deck makes. All right, we are on the draw again. His hand is fucking ass. We can keep this. I guess we're just putting a Lord in the bottom. If this is like Reanimator, like this is actually not a bad hand. So we have a Force and like maybe Hexcatcher. Nope, it is a blue deck, it looks like. Okay. Alright, well, another Force is not exactly where I wanted to be here. Tundra, okay. That's not bad. Sure, Brainstorm. This is the kind of deck that we're usually going to beat up on, so let's hope that we can do so. If they just play Teferi, I have to counter it. Okay, this looks like maybe an Uro pile. It could. I don't know, it's too early to tell with this. It's Probably not Delver, because, yeah, they're playing Bant color, so my assumption is that this probably has Uro and Teferi Time Raveler. Which means if we have, like, Wasteland, that would be fantastic against them. Oh, god, they're playing 4 colors here. Okay. Getting out those 1-drops here. Companions are the only deck with less variance than Uro piles, yeah. Okay, so this is a 4-color deck. Alright. They did leave up, like... They left up, like, I'm assuming Swords to Plowshares. Alright. There was definitely a consideration for playing Hexcatcher here, but I don't want to defend the Lord. Minx and Boo. I'm gonna pitch Hexcatcher. Alright. Alright, blue card would be good here. That is a blue card. Alright, so I think, yeah, we just attack. Silvergill is definitely the sort of card I like playing in this match. They don't have a force either, so they definitely would have used one if they had it. Okay, that's fine. This thing is a fucking monster card. It's like, they get to, what, deal 3 damage, or, what, no, deal 4 damage to something and draw 4 cards? It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. I can't believe that they would just run this out with no protection whatsoever. That's insane to me. They're just jamming all the fucking cantrips because they have nothing, no actual gas in their hand. Okay, I'm fine with this. Plane cycling the Timeless Dragon. Alright, cool. So they can eternalize. Alright, so they have... What are you going to do here? Swords? Prismatic Ending? Okay, deal. Wasted on my Vial. That's fine with me. Let's make this hurt. Something like Supreme Verdict could be on the table, so we got to be careful about that. But this is very close to killing them, so... If they Pyroblasted, that's fine. Alright, sure. Iteration. I don't know, like, what they're gonna... Okay, so they're looking for Uro here, I guess. How does, like, Uro help you right now? They're casting Uro. Sure, I don't think this matters. You can go to 11, and they have a Wasteland. That's not going to do anything. Okay. I'm just going to play this Master of the Pearl Trident and kill you. There we go. Look, that's what this deck is meant to do. It's meant to beat up on these decks. Okay, well, so one important thing to note, Mistcaller does not interact with Uro favorably, because Uro is actually being cast for its escape cost, so it will not get exiled to Mistcaller, therefore there's not really a good reason to bring it in. That said, the Harbinger, it's probably fine to bring this in just as a way to bounce stuff. There's not a whole lot that I really want to do with this. Like, this deck overall is just really strong. don't know, like, if... I think they have Dazes in their deck, so, like, the Cursecatcher could matter. I don't know. Like, they definitely have forces, obviously, but you know what? They might not. Like, I think Daze might be more, like, on the Delver side, but you can never, like, totally count it out. I think we don't have to worry about it that much, so maybe I just take out 2 Cursecatchers. Or I could actually take out, like, Tide Shaper. The 1-drops are not that impressive. Hmm. Tide Shaper does mana screw them very well, though, and I do like that about it. We're in the draw, so Cursecatcher might be a little bit less impressive here. I, I guess maybe Trickster could come out, but, like, this is another card. That's fair. I could take out one of those and just do it like this. They do have a lot of mana. They're probably going to play something like Carpet of Flowers, I imagine. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Like, we don't really have to change much because our deck is already pretty good against them. They might board in, like, a Supreme Verdict or, like, Pyroclasm or something like Pyroblast. Usually Chalice in one is pretty good. Yeah, this hand is, like, fine. It's not amazing, but I don't relish the thought of, like, only having 2 creatures and, like, 4 mana sources here. This Cursecatcher is looking like force food, probably. It definitely could develop better. Oh, you know what? Fuck you, opponent. We're not doing this. I hope you kept a blue source. I think it's worth taking that gamble sometimes. Okay, they have Carpet of Flowers. Fuck. I have to play 1 island, and it sucks. Alright, they're gonna get 1 mana off of this. I guess I could have forced that, but... I don't know. This gives them 2 mana. You know what? I almost regret not forcing it now. Yeah, it would have been a little bit awkward. I agree. Fuck. Alright, I definitely have to play this Chalice of the Void here. Alright, no, we're doing it. Yeah, this is also weird because I don't want to give them the mana, but Chalice turns off way too many spells. I have to cast it. Sure. I'm gonna keep the Force, I guess, to deal with the back half of Uro. What are you gonna do? Like, this... Not great choices all around. Alright, I can just pass here. I don't have to actually do anything. You can try to cast Uro, I guess. They have to fetch here if they want to do that. To put another card in the graveyard. They could also just burn like a pond. Well, they have to get another, okay, another, not a dual land for that, so. But I assume they're going to try to put Uro into play this turn. I have to force it, and then I'll play Hexcatcher plus Master. And hope that that's good enough. They don't have Pyroblast online, so that's good. They have 6 mana, so Oh, I think the Chalice might make it a little awkward. Okay, Minx and Boo. Uh, fuck. All right. I think I have to try to kill this in combat. Oh god, this is actually really bad. Like, if I force this thing, I'm not gonna have an answer to deal with Uro, but this is also gonna give them a huge creature to deal with. So if I don't find another, yeah, like I don't know what to. If I don't have like a trickster or just something to do with this, this is a spell. Like I feel like I have to force. I don't know what to, yeah. The problem is forcing this thing means, yeah, Uro's going to come back, and I can't really deal with this. They don't have any islands. That's the problem. And when this comes into play, they're just going to have a 4/4 with trample. So all right, I have to. I don't really get the option not to here. Okay, well, I think we're just dead now, so they just pitched Brainstorm. I could throw away my entire board to deal with this, but that's not a plan, so. Alright. What we are hoping for is like Otawara or Merfolk Trickster. I need one of those two cards. Doesn't quite do it. So they can just -2 to sacrifice this and draw like 4 cards. Fuck. Alright, this is all bad. Kind of feel like we're basically in just lost territory and we could basically just concede here because Uro's gonna come back this turn. They have Carpet of Flowers to use. They can bring Uro back with for 5. We can't do anything about that. That's gonna put them far ahead. Um, I could try to attack this with Master and Hexcatcher, Master, and then Vial and the Lord is a trick. But I mean, uh, yeah, like they could set their options would be block Hexcatcher, and then I could theoretically kill this and lose Hexcatcher. And then I still have to deal with Uro, which I don't have anything for. But they would still have the 4/4. Or the more likely option is they will just block Master the Pearl Trident with this thing. And this becomes 4 trades with this. That it takes 3 damage here. But the beginning of their upkeep, then they just get the hamster back and they +1 it again to just have another 4/4. So then it's like we have to deal with Uro plus a 4/4. That doesn't actually work either. So all things, I guess that we just attack it and see what they do. But like this is basically a turn where we just concede and go to game 3. Oops. Sure. They're definitely gonna like block here though. Yeah. All right. We lose. I can't deal with Uro. Like that's the problem. Like I'm not gonna have and I can't not attack either because the other option is like let them sacrifice a 4/4, draw like 4 cards. Like they're gonna draw like 5 cards that turn and like kill off one of my creatures anyway, and that's not really winning. So I guess I'm gonna play here. All right. All right, let's go. I don't think I don't think I want Force of Negation. This is a little bit better. Not by a lot though. It's still pretty slow. Like, it's... Like, this is definitely, like, an okay hand. I'm just concerned that, like, if we don't... Yeah, we're not gonna do it. Like, we don't have anything devastating. We don't have the True-Name Nemesis. We don't have, like, Cavern of Souls. We don't have, like, the powerful cards, so... It's fine, but it's not really more than that. Again, if they have Carpeted Flowers, this is going to get to be a huge problem again. Alright, they mulled a 6. That's good news. I am not, like, super thrilled with this hand, but, like, it's good enough where I don't think I can afford to mulligan it, but I definitely want to. Like, if they play this, I think I'm supposed to fucking force this thing. I think I have to. Like, I just pitch Silvergill Adept to this. I could pitch Hexcatcher, actually. You know what? Because if I draw another Merfolk, I'd rather have another Silvergill. Like, that's fine. Okay, well, this is a little bit better. Okay, so they're not doing anything here. They're gonna... They played Basic Island. I think I'm supposed to just play this as a creature, or yeah, as a 2/2 here. Try to pressure them before they can get anything going. Drawing another land definitely did not help my cause, though. Okay, Uro, I mean, yeah, it's a guy. And I don't have a plan for him at the moment. He is coming back real quick. This is like kind of what I was like talking about. Like, this hand didn't really have a lot of strength to contend with. They did. Why didn't they get like a Savannah here? Then they could have cast Uro, unless they have another fetch land in hand. I guess Prismatic Ending. Okay. I guess Wasteland would be fine. Oh, that's actually pretty good. But I mean, I guess they just play a fetch land and they just bring Uro back, and now this True Name is just stuck on defense. It's even still, like, this thing gets to attack every turn, so okay, they're gonna look for a fetch land so they can find their green source. Or you know what, they might just brainstorm first because they have the fetch land and they just want to fix their hand before they fetch, so yeah, this makes sense. Uro's gonna come back and I guess Otawara would help us, but like that's about it. This is kind of where okay, I guess if they play yeah, Uro's like bad. This is where having the hearse was really nice in this match because it like once you fucking resolve the hearse against this deck, they are never casting this card. But we don't have hearse in our list, so maybe it needs to come back. But it really did hurt them a lot. All right, that's not terrible. I guess this means I can attack with True-Name and just bounce this thing. I can take a hit from it too. I can wait until the end step and then bounce it. I'm not going to block it. Okay. Okay, Harbinger. Like, I don't like letting this thing attack, but that was the only option we had available to us, so. Keeps it from hitting us for a little while. Okay, cool. I don't know what they have going on, but we need to kill them before they get Uro back online again. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Wandering Emperor, yeah, like it's not great for us, but it could have been worse. Okay, they took 10. That's a pretty that puts us back in the race. Sanctuary, they're gonna Prismatic Ending my Lord of Atlantis. Is that I don't no, I guess if we have another Island Walker, like we could still kill them, but they do have to cast the Prismatic here. They make a Samurai so they have a blocker. I guess what, a Trickster still wins even if they kill this thing? No, because they can still play the Uro, so yeah, they can gain some life back from that. So I guess we need Island Walk Lord, like that's how we get there. Again, look, Mystic Sanctuary is also completely neutered by Unlicensed Terse, which is another reason I really like that card. Okay, I guess we're just all in on Island Walker wins. We have a bunch. Oh no, they're sacrificing it right away. They're killing the Silvergill. They're afraid. Okay, we're still on Island Walker wins. That doesn't actually change anything in that regard. Fuck. All right. I guess we have to kill this, right? We had a chance. Like if we had the Island Walker, we could actually just get there, but this thing has to go away. We'll keep the other island in hand just for the shits and giggles. Here comes Uro, and then they can bring it back. It's so hard. Go to 13. I can't deal 13 damage. Now they're going to go for Narset. Oh, God. They have no fucking respect at all. All right. Pyroblast. They're tapped out. I can't cast it here. Sure. I feel like they should have brought Uro back here. That's really close. Okay. How do we do this? Could Trickster this thing down? Get in some damage. Uro's going to come back, so we're still going to need some help, and we know Pyroblast is on the way. Yeah, they have Pyroblast in hand, so we are going to need help. If I attack them for 6, they're going to go back up to 9 from Uro. That's not realistically a way I can kill them. I feel like letting them draw another card with Narset is not really a plan either. I think, sadly, the only option I have is to kill Narset and hold the Trickster to tap down the Uro. The Pyroblast is definitely going to eat one of my creatures. I can't top deck a Lord. That's not going to help me. Cursecatcher's not going to protect me from that. But this I think has to go, because if they minus it again, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Sadly, True-Name Nemesis has to kill Narset here. Alright. For the I don't know, for the hand that we kept, I think we're doing pretty well, but I still don't feel like this is close enough to where I need to be to win this. So these four are definitely, or no, you can't. Oh fuck! They can't play the Pyroblast and the Uro here because they only have one red. So that might make things awkward. They need another fetch land. And do you have another fetch land? They might not. That could be a game changer. Alright, don't have another red. They did not have another land to put into play. Alright. There's the Ponder. It does give us a chance, like, drawing a Lord means... Oh, fuck, they found Volcanic. Never mind, it's over. Alright, so here's the problem. Island Walk is not going to kill them here, so... I think I kind of have to... Like, I'm going to keep taking damage from this thing, and I can't really afford to. Alright. I don't like this, but I have to do this. I have to draw something like another Trickster or Otawara. That definitely wasn't it. Attacking him for 6 is not helping. I can block here for a turn, but he's definitely just going to kill the Trickster. He can afford to take it. He's going to gain 3 life back anyway. Guess I could have played the island there just to fucking represent that I had Force of Will. Yeah, I mean, this is all bad. Like, potentially Dress Down is something I have to worry about too. I have 7 cards in hand and I have nothing. We know they have a Pyroblast. Or do they? Alright. Okay. I can force them to use it this turn, but if that's helpful. Oh, good. Endurance. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Terrible. They even potentially have hardcast Force of Will up. Alright. That is a problem. Let's turn off the Pyroblast at least. Why would you do this? I don't understand why you would let me resolve that, right? Like, do you not have a blue card to pitch? Or did you just forget that Cursecatcher has text? There's still a losing battle. So I don't have an answer to this thing. I'm getting hit for this. Like, even if I draw another True-Name Nemesis, it's no guarantee that's actually going to do anything. I guess I'm just casting it for full retail here. Can't do anything with that, so... Alright. Our best hope is if we find another True Name, we can stall the game long enough where Maybe they just draw a bunch of 1-drops that they can't cast, and maybe we can find like 2 tree names before that point. Or even just another Merfolk to trade with this Endurance would be helpful. Oh, I miss Hearst so much right now. They have to discard. Come on, that's not what we were looking for right now. I guess... Is there any reason to actually cast or to play this? I don't think so. They just discarded a Ponder. They have no actual reason to cast it. I guess that just means they have no more threats. Alright. And go to 2. And just hope that we don't get got by a Planeswalker. And they can't have one, right? They would have played it before. Oh, that's not good. They're digging for, like, Mints and Boo here. Look what they found. Okay, that's going to end the game. That's more stuff than I can deal with. Alright. That sucks. We were close. I don't have a command set up for this. I'm going to have to learn how to do this because, here, you know what? Hold on. I will show you what the deck what our list looks like. We're just not having a good day today. We lost a really, really close match versus Death and Taxes. Yeah, we had the Dark Depths deck, which is just not good for us in general. And now this match I feel like is usually pretty fine, but not having the unlicensed Hearst really made a difference, so it kind of hurt here. So yeah, this is what our deck list is, so you can see it. Oops. All right. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to add the deck list to the bot. I don't even know if I have the bot in the chat at the moment. You would think by now, like, I'm doing Twitch enough that I should do it. Like, God, this is a frustrating league where, like, these 2 matches are definitely close to wins, but not quite. So, maybe we do need to find a way to put Hearses back in our lists. I don't know where. Maybe I just cut the Cursecatchers and just say, like, if they just daze Chalice, so be it. That's possible. I might do that. Can try. Because it makes such a huge difference in that match, like... And that is a pretty common match, so, oh god, if this is an... we're on the play and we have 1 land, this is not keepable. Well, and our deck just keeps doing this to us. We've had, like, so many of these unkeepable hands. I have not tested Emperor Mihal, but I will say... They're mulliganing, I have to mulligan too. Alright, we're going to keep this. We're getting rid of Force of Will and a Hexcatcher, and we're just hoping the True-Name Nemesis is going to carry us to victory. Emperor Mihal, I think, is playable in Merfolk, but it has to be in the right shell. And the right shell is probably one that involves Thought Lash and Thassa's Oracle. If you have those, I think that card could be good in that sort of deck. So that's where I'm at with this. All right, Once Upon a Time. That is not a good sign. No fair deck like plays this card. Gaia's Cradle. Oh my god, is this fucking elves? Are we like? They have Gaia's Cradle in their hand. We're dead. Like, there's no fucking way that we're beating elves. Okay, we basically just lose the game. That's it. This is like just right-click concede territory to this. It's not turn 1. You just had to open your mouth. You just had to. Like, goddamn. Thank you. May I have another? Now, Elves is by far our worst matchup. By far. Not even, like, we at least have, like, a plan against Dark Depths where we have, like, Wastelands that we can potentially use against them, but, Yeah, that plan does not work against... We have no plan against this deck. This is not worth planning for. I have to just Wasteland the Cradle here, right? That's the only thing that keeps me in the game. Okay. Wait, hold on. Turn off auto yields. I have to play the Aether Vial. Alright, now we can just pass. This is like a 5%, 95% match for us. This card right here, this is the reason. Like, if they did not have Allosaurus Shepherd in their 75, like, we would theoretically have a chance. Because then we could do stuff like Chalice on 1 and force to try to, like, keep them from comboing off. With this in play, there's no fucking chance we can win. Ever. Ever. Nothing. Nothing we do matters. Okay. Like, they have all the time in the world to just combo our face off. Yeah, no, we are on our way to, like, an 05 league. Yeah. This is... And there's the Cradle. Yeah, look. Alright, let's watch them just combo off with impunity here. Can they just do this? They have, like... Oh, they have... yeah, okay. Let's... You know what? For the sake of entertainment and education, we'll let them do it. Green Sun Zenith for 9. Great. I can't, like, nothing I do matters here. So there's Crater Hoop Behemoth, alright? They didn't actually need to, because they still had this, so, like, but, yeah, that's... Nothing. There is nothing we can do about this. I guess we want Dismember and Mistcaller. The counter spells are just pointless. This is not a Silvergill Adept match. This isn't really a Cursecatcher match either. Oh, God. None of this makes any real significant difference. Like, I could side in Harbinger, I guess, but I don't think it's irrelevant. The Force of Negation maybe just to counter like Green Sun Zenith. This is a buy for them. They just this is about as good as we're gonna do. We get to start with Dismember for their Allosaurus Rider or Shepherd, so that's it. This is the one time where if they have it on turn 1, like, it's not the worst because we can Dismember it. Nope. Okay. Well, I have to just kill this thing. I don't have time to dick around. I guess I'm playing Master of the Pearl Trident. Three True-Name Nemesis is also not really where we want to be. Like, it is one of the only ways sometimes we have to push through damage, but it's very slow, and this deck normally kills you by the time you play this card, so. There are not very many lines that are meaningfully, important. Sure, Snuff Out, that's fine. They put a Bayou in play. Why, of course they do it. Now they can play their Shepherd. It's fine. Look at how fine this is. Alright. I guess I'm putting this into play. Let's pretend that there's some fucking universe in which, the game actually goes on. We need to tick this thing up. If you sit down at, like, an actual event and you have to play against elves, that is normally your right concede on the on the match slip and go get lunch around. It's really it's like not even worth the mental energy to try, and like that's just how it is. You can thank Jumpstart for that. It was a bad matchup, but like before Shepherd, but at least it was like theoretically possible to win. Like they would have to, you would play Chalice in one, and it turns off a lot of their deck, but then they would have to like chord for like Reclamation Sage or something like that. So, but now, yeah, now they just play a 1-drop elf that like contributes to their. It's a win condition, and it also makes their entire plan uninteractable to us completely. So, and I think they play all 4 of them in the deck. And tons of ways to tutor them, so you will, and it's also uncounterable. You can't even like force a well the Shepherd. It makes like the Green Suns and the core like the natural orders uncounterable. So I don't know what they're doing because it seems like it's going really slow for no apparent reason. I guess I'm just playing Hexcatcher. At any given point, they're liable to just play like Gaia's Cradle and kill us. There is the Shepherd. Okay, see, look, they always have it. It's like never. It's not an option for them not to. And the thing is, like, this is just a win condition with Cradle by itself. Like, you can't like attack into them. They can just turn all their stuff into 5/5 blockers, or they can just attack you with like a bunch of 5/5s. All right. This Vodalian Hexcatcher is going to get real brave. All right. I believe you. You got this. Sure. All right. You've demoralized me enough. We're done with this. All right. We have to win one match for our pride. God damn. This is a terrible day of Magic cards. All right. We're on the play. We're going to keep it. It's a 1-land Vial hand, but we do have Force to protect it, so I am going to keep it. And our 1 land is not Wastelandable, so that's significant. Let's win at least one match today. Oh my god. We've been doing pretty well the last few weeks. It was about time that we had one of these days. It's okay. But here's the other thing, like, this is still happening to us, but at the same time, like, I am still having fun playing Legacy, so... I mean, it's really hard to argue with that. Even when we're not winning, like, this format is still fun. Everybody has bad days. This is just ours. Alright, we're passing here. I get the feeling that Tideshaper is probably the thing that I pitched to Force of Will. And we're trying to Vial and Silvergill to find another land. I feel like this might be the mono-red deck. Oh yeah. They're gonna try to go for like fucking Chandra or something like this. Professional Facebreaker. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal damage to a player, create a treasure token. Interesting. It is a 2/3. It's going to make them treasures, and they can use those treasures to draw cards. Okay, I feel like I do have to force this. Because we actually can't, we can't block this thing. It has Menace, so... I've never seen this card, and it does feel like it's one of the weaker cards in this deck, but our start was so slow that we can't actually contend with it yet. So I wouldn't normally force a card like that, but here we just don't have a choice. And we have to play Silvergill and just hope to draw a land. Come on. Please? It's actually not terrible. I can play this on 0 so they can't play like Chrome Mox. Because they might need to do that if they want to play more 4-drops. And they can't play Lotus Petals either, so I'm gonna turn off their fast mana this way. This is the 5th round. Sorry, Techno Mage. We are in the 04 bracket. We've just been getting slaughtered today. This has not been a good day of magical cards for us. Okay. Okay, obviously I'm not going to block this, but I can Trickster it next turn, hopefully. I really, really need to draw lands, though. That is fucking perfect. Alright, Merfolk. Silvergill Adept. Yeah, this is definitely one of the worst Legacy Leagues I've had all year. That's just Magic sometimes. So, yeah, that's exiled, so that's a plus. I think it's worth burning a Trickster here. They might play something for 4 mana. They have 4 cards in hand. They can probably play whatever's in their hand here, so... Stomp? Okay. Please do not attack me. There is no honor to be found in the back of the room. You are correct. This is for pride. That is it. The good thing, I guess, is that usually mono red is one of our better matches. Oh my god, they just have so much removal. Alright, sure. It's fine. Alright, we're gonna keep this on 2. So we're probably just playing 2 lords here, and like... Sure, maybe they can play one of these things. I think we're... Oh, that's actually pretty good, too. I think I'm not going to put the other lord in a play just yet, because there's a chance I might want a Vodalian Hexcatcher. If they just put like a Bone Crusher into play, then I'll Violin Lord here. But if they go for something, yeah, if they go for like something a little bit bigger than that, okay, well, I have no choice now. I have to do this. They've already used 3 of these, right? I think I put the Hexcatcher in still. That will protect this thing, and they might just play a Bone Crusher, but oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, well this is a mistake, because now what's going to happen is you're not going to get the Lord of Atlantis. Yeah, or you don't get this, because the Lord is going away. Why are you paying the 1? I don't think they understand exactly how this works. If we can get them to tap out another mana, sure, fuck it. You're not going to get to keep this because there's no legal target for it anymore, so you've just tapped 2 mana for no reason. That was a blunder. They found unlicensed Terse that they can't cast. Alright, well, now there's no reason not to put all these in play. And I think next turn I will tick Vial up to 3 just in case we draw True-Name Nemesis. This thing's going to attack and be a 5/5, so may as well attack. So they can play both Bone Crushers here, which is not great, but... Okay, that is also incorrect. You should not be playing that before you know what you're drawing off of this thing. A mountain, okay. So they can just play the other Bone Crusher here. I think I'm supposed to just take 5. Well, I could double block this, but then I don't really have a plan to deal with the Bone Crusher Giants. I guess this does go away. Like, maybe I can draw a creature for these. Double blocking this means that I'm going to lose both Lords. I don't like it, but... It means they only have 2 Bone Crusher Giants, which is not ideal, but we can theoretically defeat this. Alright, I'm going to do this. It's still not good, but at least this is, yeah, you can play the other Bone Crusher now, but if I find True-Name Nemesis, this turns around real fast. Even finding another Lord means that this trades with one of these things. And their deck does have a lot of duds. They have a lot of fast mana that just is pointless on its own. They do have a lot of things that are really scary and devastating, though, so... that is okay. So, okay, I guess I'm just blocking one of these and then flashing in Hexcatcher. They might not even attack if they're afraid of True-Name, but I feel like they probably will. Okay, they played a land first, which was, again, a mistake. Should not have done that. I should have to live in fear of Lightning Bolt, but they let me know that they had a mountain in hand for no apparent reason. Not ideal, but at least I can trade both of these with this. And just hope that I draw a threat before they do. They drew a mountain. Okay. Would you like to trade your Bone Crusher for my creatures here? Alright, this is the time. We need True-Name. Yes. And no. Yeah. That doesn't do anything. I don't... I guess I should play it just in case I get more lands into Force of Will. If I draw, like, Island, Force, that matters. Alright. Oh, that's not... They found something they can cast. Yeah, this guy. What are you gonna do? Alright, Trickster would be a good draw here. Silvergill's not terrible either. That's not bad, but it can't block this thing, so... They're going to get to establish a little bit of a board presence. Well... So basically they can set... Yeah, they can use the treasure to try to find a card here. So kind of, like, they've gotten a little bit unlucky here flooding out with 9 mountains, but... Rite of Flame is useless to them. Alright, we vial in True-Name Nemesis and hope that we can find another creature to pair with it. Okay. Yeah, I think I just, I'm gonna vial in the Master when they attack, and I'm just gonna attempt to trade the Master with this thing. So that's drawing them 2 cards a turn. One card, that's probably bad. I'm assuming that means it's like Lightning Bolt. But we can't live in fear. Nope. I can't block it. Alright. Yeah. Tried. They top decked Bolt as soon as we top decked Master. Unlicensed Turris is actually a really good one. That thing is going to become a huge problem very quickly. Alright, yeah, it's going to be a 2-2 next turn, so I can take exactly 1 more hit, and then I'm dead, so... This is dragging out. Sure, eat 2 cards. What are we doing here? That was not the one. Alright. It's not really worth playing out this vial. This is better as a bluff. But we are in a lot of trouble. We had a bunch of chances to, like, do something here, and they keep giving us opportunities, but this is going to become a 4-4, and we're going to take 2, and now next turn, like, we need Merfolk Trickster. I think either Trickster or Otawara. Those are the only things that we can save ourselves with. No, Otawara is not going to work. We need exactly Merfolk Trickster. Because I can't block this thing. And next turn, they are going to attack with 2 things that we need 3 bodies for, so it has to be Trickster to tap this thing down, so... Well, no, I guess they have to crew this, right? So, yeah. Okay, I mean, it depends. If they draw a creature, then they can kill us. Okay, well, that is a creature, and that has Menace. Alright, that's going to do it. Yeah, we are done for now. Just failed to draw anything. Alright, let's see what we were going to get. Maybe we are on our way to a perfect 05. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever had that happen in Legacy. I think I've had it happen one time in Modern, and I don't. Yeah, well, we can't use that because we only have 3 lands. Fuck. All right. Still, I think, uh, Null Rod probably. I don't know. They didn't play a lot of artifacts that do like they have hearses, I guess, but we definitely want the Force of Negations. That's for sure. I think we want Harbinger. They have a lot of creatures, and we want the Dismember. Tide Shaper is going to be useless here, and Cursecatcher is similarly going to be useless. It doesn't really do anything against them. Chalice is not amazingly useful because they're usually a deck that plays Chalice themselves. Do 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 do. I mean, they went that entire game and they did not find a single zero-cost artifact, so they did have like Rite of Flames. Hmm. The last 2 slots here don't seem like any of them are particularly relevant. Putting this on 0 is kind of a hedge against them having, like I said, it's sort of a hedge against uh, Lotus Petals and stuff. I mean, it might just be as well that we just play like a creature. If we play the Cursecatchers, maybe we can catch a Rite of Flame, or we can delay it by a turn, so I don't think that they're particularly good. I guess he does run bolts, that's true, but this hand is okay. It's not fantastic, but I will keep it. Like, I'm not really worried too much when they're playing like lightning bolts because they it doesn't like sure it can kill off a creature, but I have way more creatures and they have removal. So if that's the game is gonna play, then like usually we're gonna be good with this. And if we ever get to the point where True-Name Nemesis enters play, then they're sunk. So I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like Chalice in 1 because he has Bolt, like it's not the worst. Maybe he has Pyroblast. That's true. I mean, maybe he's just playing like random mono red. So all right. Okay, I don't need to do anything here. You're gonna bolt me? No, you're not gonna do that. I don't really need. I'm not inclined to play a bunch of creatures right away until I know what the deal is. It is the 04 bracket. This is true. You're not wrong. It could just be random, like a random pile of red cards. So I don't think this matters. I'm pretty sure I just. Man, I could force this, or I could just trickster it. Like, means I have to deal with it next turn, though. All right, deck. Come on, True-Name Nemesis. That's actually equally okay. I'm gonna do this now before he can, like, stomp here. So that way, even if he attacks, I can block with the Trickster and, like, yeah, I don't get blown out by a stomp. I guess, like, double Lightning Bolt is possible, but I am not going to play around double Lightning Bolt. Or maybe I do. I think it's a 2-3. He has like a million cards in hand. Maybe I'm supposed to just take this and just attack him for 10. If he is letting me block this with a 4-4, that means he probably has a plan for these lords. If he plays this creature, he has to tap out to do it. Okay. My clock is faster than his right now. And I would prefer to, like, go and make one of these moves when I have Force of Will actually available to me. Okay. That's right. Take 10. Yes, we're playing against a mono red. Looks like a, not like the prison deck, but this actually looks more like the mid-range pile. They're just playing like a bunch of these like 3 mana like draw an extra card a turn guys. And I am hoping that this just means that I have them dead. Like, I don't think I care about that. Like, what are you gonna do? Attack me? It doesn't matter. The fucking balls! I have lethal on board, and he's like attacking with everything right now. I admire this. This is amazing. I don't know what exactly you're hoping is going to happen here, but I don't think that this is going to work out that way. Maybe he could have like blocked something though. He had a 4/4. Like that's not irrelevant. I don't have Island Walk. Like I don't know what his plan is here, but it doesn't seem like it's working. Ah, fuck. All right. Then I guess I'm just going to kill you. Um, if you have 2 lightning bolts, then maybe. No, he does not. He conceded. I think he should have still like made me attack because the galaxy brain play here would be to like if you were gonna gamble this way, you could try to like let me attack with all the lords and hope that like I don't have a way to deal with a second bolt and then kill one of them and then just like swing back and kill me. That would be I think the right way to go here. I would have drawn the island to have the Force of Will up, but he would not have known that, so okay, so I guess I'm bringing the chalices back in. I don't think that the Cursecatcher is necessary, and probably just take out like a Hexcatcher. That should be fine. Sure, fuck it. All right, we'll do this. I don't know about this. He mold to 6. I have 2 forces, so like the first 2 things that he does I can counter, but it's so tempting. I'm on the draw. I can force things for a little while. All right, I'm gonna gamble. You know what? We're on 05. We can afford to gamble. Like this is this. If we win this, then we'll be 1-4. We're gonna go out in style, I guess. All right. Which means we probably will not be playing anything for a little while, but hopefully he won't either. He mulliganed, and yeah, this Rite of Flame is fine. We'll let him use his 3 mana. Definitely gonna force this, and I think, yeah, he hasn't shown many non-creatures that I'm really concerned about, so I'll pitch the Force of Negation. All right, land. Always punished. Okay, go. Okay, what do we got? Probably. Oh, he doesn't have anything to do here with this 3 mana. Interesting. Okay. Fuck. Now I guess I'm just keeping that for now. This was probably not a reasonable hand to keep, but this seemed like this would be the most fun. Sure. Bolt, you have 2 cards left. Like, how scared should I be? Not very, apparently. No, he's not drawing all lands, right? Because he didn't play a land this turn. All right. Uh, I guess discard the Chalice. This doesn't seem relevant. Maybe he just has a bunch of like stomps and he's afraid to play them. Okay, cool. Just so dumb. Nothing. Okay. Why is magic like this? I'm gonna play it for 0, I guess. I can't fathom like what he would be drawing. Like unless he has a handful of like lightning bolts. Like that's it. That's nothing else makes sense. He's already used 2 of them, so like out of his 5 cards right now, only 2 of them could be bolts. All right, he's got a mountain. Come on, for 4 mana, you have to have something, right? Clearly, there's got to be some card on this earth that you can play for 4. No, there is not. I don't get this. Alright. Merfolk. Okay, I don't need to do anything right now. I can play Vodalian Hexcatcher because then if he tries to stomp it, that's sort of fine. Price of Progress? It's gonna deal 4 to me? I mean, I guess. Sure. That maybe it's just holding a bunch of these. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna play this first because if he's holding on to Stomp, I want him to lose the Stomp. And then he won't. Yeah, like if that's the case, then I could like force him to negate the Stomp, or like sack the Hexcatcher so he doesn't get to keep the adventure. Price of Progress, another 4. I don't think I care about this. I have a Force of Will in case you try to like Fire Blast me, so I'm not that worried about it. He's literally just trying to be a burn deck right now. I feel like he's got at least one more. He has to. Yeah, okay. This one, I'm gonna counter. I think if this was your plan, you should have did this on your turn. I would have had to use the Force of Negation then, but I think using a Hexcatcher for that was better for me. Because you have 5 lands here. So what are you going to do with them? Absolutely not. We're not going to be doing that. Red Elemental Blast, that's adorable. But still the answer is no. I think it's True-Name's time to go because we are still not doing this. All right, so he has nothing. He's top decking at this point. So we are dead if he draws the 4th Price of Progress. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. Like, I don't think that there's any reason not to play this because if he has Price of Progress, we're gonna die either way. So, and I'm probably playing Trickster in his turn. I don't think I want to burn Harbinger. Maybe I'm supposed to though. Actually, you know what? I am gonna play it now because I think that this puts more pressure in him. Whereas like Trickster is gonna be better at. In case he does find a creature, then this will help us kill it faster. All right. Do not draw Price of Progress, please. Just draw like a mountain or Rite of Flame. I'd be okay with that. I mean, another Lightning Bolt would not be ideal. We go to 1, but what are you gonna do? A mountain. Okay, excellent. That swung the odd meter went way up in our favor. Honestly, if I draw a Force, I probably won't even play the Trickster at any point. Island is fine. So he takes 5. think that I'm supposed to play Trickster in this turn, because then if we draw a Lord, we just win. Oh god. Okay, that's fine. Um... A lot of draws that just end the game here. They are on 4 minutes. This thing does have Menace, though, so we kind of have to be careful. Alright. So if I attack with the Master of the Pearl Trident, I can block. Assuming he doesn't find another lightning bolt, but I think... No, we would still need to do that, right? Because he'd have to bolt a creature. I think Master is supposed to attack here. I could gamble here. If I just attack with everything, I give him 2 draws. Put him to 3, and then make it his problem to figure out how to win. Whereas if I attack with Master, he goes to 9. Yeah, the problem is, like, I know that he has Bone Crusher Giants in his deck, so if I let him hit me with this thing and he draws a Bone Crusher, I just die. So I think that I have to only attack with the Master. And leave back 2 creatures. No, I can't leave back 1 blocker because this thing has Menace. So I have to leave back 2 so I don't die to a Lightning Bolt. Or a Stomp. I just need him to draw like a mountain here and then not be able to attack. Okay, well he drew 2 creatures. That's not great. Both of them actually draw a card. Alright. That was the worst thing that could have happened this turn. Oh my god. Burnt Bison. This was not a good time to join this. This is not exactly going great. Okay, so if I block like this, I take 3, I go to 1. I don't think that really matters. He's going to have 2 creatures, and then I have to deal... This is a problem for next turn. He's going to get to play 1 more thing off the top of the deck. But I get to keep both of these in that case, as long as he doesn't draw, like, a burn spell. But if he draws a burn spell, I'm dead anyway, so... The problem... I could also, like... I could trade one of these things with it. I don't think that's a good plan yet. I think I need to do this. Try to draw, like, True-Name Nemesis. That was a very good draw for him this turn. I needed him to, like, not have a draw for 1 turn. Because a robber is also, like, yeah, I have to leave something back for that, too. He's going to play that. Okay, he's going to keep the treasure token for next turn, I assume. Alright. Yeah, you can play 2 cards next turn, so we'll see. Actually, he might be able to play 3 cards. Oh, that was bad. That was insanely bad. Yeah, I think I'm fucked. I'm gonna have to trade basically all these creatures with all his creatures, and he has to, like, not draw anything off the top 3. Ugh, this is so bad. Alright, sure, Merfolk. Yeah, attacking here doesn't actually do anything. We are about to hit 0-5. Ugh, fuck. Alright. Well, we were kind of fucking around with this last game, so that makes sense. Alright, this will attack, exile a card, and be a 4/4. So, like, I could just chump block this with one of these things and then just eat this. have 2 creatures, but then I still have to... I don't know that that's really a better plan, so... Alright, I guess I'm just going to have to see what it exiles, or with the treasure token. Alright, no, he doesn't get to do the treasure anymore. He only gets 1 card from this. Never mind. Alright. Well, yeah, basically I need him to just, like, draw 2 blanks here. Then maybe if I find True-Name Nemesis, I can stabilize this, but... If he just finds another creature, I'm probably dead. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just losing mass... Okay. What are you doing? You don't have anything. Oh yeah, no, this is fun. We're definitely learning. Like, I had some like pretty bad opening hands where we're stuck in like 1 land or like 6 lands, and it happens sometimes. Like, we face both depths and elves, which are both incredibly terrible matches for us. I think this kills us, right? This just does damage to each person. All right, we die. That is actually... you know what? Never mind. We weren't technically dead. He could, like, we were, because he could cast. He has the 4 mana to cast it, but maybe he wouldn't have cast it for some reason. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, that wasn't really gonna stabilize that. All right, look at this. We finished a perfect 0-5. Wow, that was awful. So I don't know. That was a thing that happened. I think if I learned anything, it's that I really, really miss having unlicensed hearse in my deck. Maybe I'm willing to give up on Cursecatcher and just, like, bring hearse back. I don't know. It's difficult to say. Maybe I just don't need all the Hexcatchers. That's also possible. It is entirely possible the 2 hearses we were playing were actually, like, better than Hexcatchers were. Yeah, it really does. Like, I think the next league that we play with this, I will try to put the 2 hearses back. Like, maybe what we're supposed to, like, because the other thing we did is we added all right, can I do this? All right. I know that this is going to be terrible because I don't actually own these here, but it's before we didn't have Hexcatcher here. So, like, it's possible we could do something like this. I really liked having this card here. I don't know. Maybe we just don't need it as much in this format. That is also entirely reasonable, that, like, we just are not actually, like, that needy for this. I mean, the other option is we could take out Cursecatcher, too. Like, if we remove Cursecatcher, maybe, that's a way we can add our Hexcatchers back. And add, like, 1 more Tide Shaper to the deck. There we go. Here. I hate having multiple copies of this stuff here. If we're gonna do this, like, at least let's make it look nice. All right. Oh, fuck! I have so many cards with the word Wasteland in them. Which one is this one? This one. All right, there we go. Maybe we're supposed to do something like this. Yeah. Well, the only problem is, like, Hexcatcher doesn't replace Cursecatcher for the purposes of resolving Chalice in 2. Or, I mean, Chalice on 1 on turn 2. That's the problem. Well, so we were playing Unlicensed Hearse before Hexcatcher got printed, and this card was actually very good in the deck before that. Because this actually... And in at least 2 different matches in this league, like, this would have made a huge difference, because it helps against, like, the Knight of the Reliquary decks by removing the lands from their graveyard so they can't just keep recurring them every turn with stuff like Random App Excavator or, like, Life from the Loam. It makes the knight smaller, and it makes the the elf smaller. So it has a lot of utility there, and it also basically makes it impossible for Uro to ever get into play because you remove stuff from that their graveyard and they never get to 5. And even if they put Uro there, you just exile Uro. So yeah, well, the issue is not necessarily like being able to play. It's that not having enough slots to play them and the Tide Shaper. So, am I ever gonna beat Knight of the Reliquary? Like, sometimes you can't. Like, it's not impossible. Like, if they're not playing a version of that deck that is like on the Dark Depths combo, like you very easily it is possible to beat them. Oh, I gotta fix this too. Hold on. Because True-Name Nemesis is actually like a way to definitely fight there, and Unlicensed Hearse keeps it small enough where you can reasonably contend with it. It's the only problem is when they're like very all in on the plan of trying to put Merit Lodge into play. So, and not all the Knight of the Reliquary decks play Merit Lodge. That's an important thing to understand. Like, there are versions of the deck that are tuned specifically to making 2020s, and there are versions of the deck that just don't do that. So it really kind of depends on what their game plan is. And yeah, like the other thing is like part of the problem that we got there is the Random Map Excavator and Wasteland being in their graveyard made it really hard to actually keep lands in play. So stuff like Hearse actually turns that off a little bit. It means that like we can't hold up Wasteland in order to disrupt their combo because they're able to just recur Wasteland back in order to blow up our Wasteland before they go for it. Whereas say if we had Hearse out protecting us, we can exile the Wasteland from their graveyard, make it a lot harder for them to, they have to spend more time trying to find a Wasteland first in order to get rid of ours instead of just having one in the graveyard to keep bringing back. So like it does slow them down a fair bit, and it's not an irrelevant card in that match. Yeah, it slows down a lot of game plans. It also it slows down Dragon's Rage Channeler. It keeps it off of being a 3/3, which is relevant. It slows down Murktide Regent, which means they can't just easily go for like turn 2 or turn 3 Murktide the way that they could if you just were doing literally nothing. So it has some utility of that. Part of the thing, though, is, like I said, that when we were playing it before, we had Cursecatcher along with it, which meant you could go, like, turn 1 Cursecatcher into Hearse. Or, like, turn 1 Cursecatcher into Chalice. So, like, it made all of your turn 2 plays a lot stronger because you had more protection for it. So you couldn't just get, like, dazed out of the game by playing an artifact in turn 2. But if we're not having Cursecatcher, that's going to be a little bit harder. So yeah, and I mean, yeah, it stops the control. Like we saw against the Uro deck, they had Mystic Sanctuary, which it turns off that. Like I was able to use that many times in the past. So I don't know. To me, like I'm almost kind of wondering, like maybe I'm just not supposed to. I don't necessarily know if I need Hexcatcher that badly. Like our shell before this was actually performing really well by having like Cursecatcher and Tide Shaper here, so maybe I only need like 2 of them. Maybe I only need 2 of them and I can put like 3 Cursecatchers back in. So this is not a bad card to have by any means. Here. Like this is definitely entirely possible we could run something like this where we're running 9 lords in this, which is not, it's fine, I think. This still gives you like the surprise aspect that they don't necessarily see that it's coming. It's a little bit of extra power. I don't know. I kind of get the impression that like maybe something closer to this is gonna perform a little bit more. How do I feel about Harbinger? Well, we didn't play against Dredge, so we didn't get to test out Mistcaller or Harbinger. But yeah, part of the issue is like again, if we have Hearse here, then that kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off the sideboard because that Hearse is also a card like it deals with like the fair decks better, whereas Relic is something that sometimes you might try to play to hedge against both, but it's like not amazing against either one. Whereas Hearse is amazing against like the fair ones. It's slow against the reanimator stuff, so there's some give and take to that. Yeah, Vodalian Hexcatcher trades the early game for a stronger mid game up. That is true, but I think part of what we're doing though is like the reason that the original shell was so successful was that it was able to like establish like these important lock pieces on turn 2 with protection, and I think Cursecatcher like did a really good job at actually helping us do that. And I am loath to cut this card as much as like as much as everybody really is not a huge fan of this. Like I think it is way more important, especially along with the Wasteland. We need to keep this engine together. So I don't know. It's the 2-drop slot that we have like way too many cards here for. So this is why I'm kind of thinking like we end up cutting one of like our 4th Tide Shaper and like our 4th Lord of Atlantis to make room for 2 of these. I don't think I want to go below 7 Island Walk Lords because we still like these cards a lot. I think this would be fine. Yeah, I think we do want to keep Cursecatcher. Like, maybe next time I will try this. Like, this seems like this would be a little bit better. Because, like I said, it hedges against, like, some of those matches that we lost against. And, that, like, Uro is very hard to beat if you don't have this Hearse. And we did find that here. Harbinger is not... Harbinger is probably, like, better against some things, but also, like, it's still really bad at dealing with stuff like Uro. Because you have to let it actually attack you in order to get value out of bouncing it. Which means they're going to get to gain 3 life and draw yet another card. And it's like, ideally, you want to wait until they escape it and then bounce it before they get to attack with it. So then it's like, at least 2 more turns before it can even actually attack. But maybe a Brazen Borrower was a little bit better than this for that reason. Like, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with Harbinger, but I don't know. That's something to think about too. It's Borrower, yeah, and the other thing that we have to consider is now with Mince and Boo, like that card's going to show up a lot more because that previously was not on MTGO, so now we have to start thinking about that more. And Borrower is going to be a lot better against the hamster token at clearing the way for us to kill the stupid Planeswalker than Harbinger is. Because the hamster is just going to sit there untapped on defense where Harbinger can't touch it. Whereas, like, Petty Theft is actually going to be able to bounce it. So maybe that's something we learned from this experience. We might have to go back to putting 2 Borrowers in the slot. As much as I, really don't like them as much because they're easier to counter on the Petty Theft side, they probably do a little bit more than... Yeah, maybe it's important. And or we need some, like, unconditional bounce effect, so... Alright, if you're gonna play, let me know how it goes for you on Saturday. I'm curious to see. I need to try to find, like, a version of this 75 that I'm happy with so I can send Nikachu off to Vegas with it, so... That's my goal for right now. So I might be playing a little bit more Legacy for the time being, so... Because he has to know within, like, the next, like, 3 weeks, I think. Because I think he's going on vacation and then leaving from his vacation directly to Vegas, if I recall. So, you have like until sometime like in mid-October, I think, to get this nailed down. So, I am thinking we will probably try this next time and see if this does a little bit better. Part of it I think is just so we are like we definitely felt the loss of like Petty Theft and Hearse a little bit, I think. And part of it I think was like some of our opening hands were not terribly keepable. But that's just how it is. That's all right. So I'll be looking for with great interest to see how you do, and then maybe depending on how that goes, I might even adjust this further between now and then. So I don't know like how I feel about Fumble. Let's look at it. it's not awful. Like Fumble is it's fine, but its primary use is against Stoneforge Mystic decks because you can use it to steal, like, say, Cauldron Complete, but it's not gonna do very well when they have Mother of Runes to protect it, so the card is essentially dead then. And the thing is, like, it's also really, like, it's not as good against stuff like Uro because you could get the flyer normally as, like, a second card sometimes, but otherwise you're just using one card to bounce Uro, whereas, like, Brazen Borrower comes with a 3/1 flash flying, and that actually ends up being relevant way more often than you'd think. Even against taxes, like, I had matches where I was able to grind out for a long time because I was like Petty Theft, cast Borrower, Petty Theft, cast Borrower, and it kept me in the game, like, when I was top decking against them because of their, like, Flicker Wisps. So I was able to grind for quite a long time just because of the 3/1 flying body on it. Yeah, and it doesn't hit non-land permanent, so if your opponent plays something like Ensnaring Bridge, like, you're screwed. This doesn't deal with that either. You might add a Tower of Magistrate to deal with living weapons and 8 cast. Okay, I don't think I know that one. Let's see. Target creature gains protection from artifacts until end of turn. Okay, that's spicy. Oh, well, you know what? That's also something where, yeah, well, the other thing with the Harbinger is it was probably better at bouncing. No, actually, it's not gonna be because, yeah, the Blastoise has Ward. I mean, we have Hurkyl's Recall to deal with it, and we just have to hope that's enough. Yeah. And I guess this attacks through it, but I think most of the time that they're gonna attack us. I don't know. I'm not necessarily against playing utility lands. I think that they definitely have value sometimes. Like, I've played Karakas in my sideboard before. I've even jammed Karakas in the main deck along with stuff like Venser. I'm not sure that this is going to do quite enough. I guess you could, yeah, you could use it on the Germ token to make it fall off. And I mean, yeah, it is colorless, so that's worth noting, but Hexcatcher, the more copies of it you have, the easier colorless mana is. I don't know. I'm curious to know how this would do, but I personally would not put my faith into this. But I mean, it does make the equipment fall off of the Germ token, so that is a thing. So I don't know. It gets underneath Mother of Runes that way, so that is a thing that happens. It's fair. I think if I was that worried about it, maybe I would have, like, Cursed Totems or something, because it seems like that would probably address more of the problems. So, like, if you have Cursed Totem out, like, the Stoneforge is not able to put the Cauldron into play in the first place. It turns off the Mother of Runes. And even against, like, the 8 cast decks, like, it'll stop Emery from being able to recur stuff. It stops Sai from being able to sack stuff, so I don't know. That'd be something I'd think about. But still, that's also another 2-drop, and, like, there's definitely value in being able to, like, get things into play. Like, this is an uncounterable effect because it's a land. So I don't know. Maybe. Let me know how it goes. I'm curious. Yeah, I kind of like I do miss Venser, but I don't think he really fits into what we're doing here. We're trying to keep the curve low, not, like, go high. All right. Well, we've been doing this for like 3 hours now. This was not our best moment in history, but you know what? This is part of the testing process. So you know what? Sometimes you win and sometimes you fail. That's how it goes. So here, you can see the deck list here. Like, oh, hold on. I'm gonna fix this. What I'm gonna, yeah, this is if I was gonna fix this, so if I'm revising what this list looks like, I think this is, like, how I would revise it for next time. So we'll probably try out these modifications to it and see if it's any different. Yeah, and it's also difficult with, like, Mistcaller because, like, this card is not, like, terribly great, but if we went from, like, seeing Reanimator fairly often to, like, we didn't see it at all this league, but it seems like something we want if Reanimator is going to be a thing, and it's reasonably popular in the metagame. So like I like having some stuff against it, and we have a mix of cards against it, which I like. So there we go. Hammer is the new things these days. Yeah, well, that makes me also happy that I have my Hurkyl's recalls here, but the Hammer deck is also a lot less scary with Wasteland and Force of Will here. So yeah, they can't just do all the things that they want to do, and then we also have Null Rod on top of that in this. So yeah, Null Rod basically shuts down that entire deck because they replace all their basic lands with like Ancient Dens, and Ancient Den does not get along with Null Rod very well. They're not best friends, definitely not besties. I'm pretty sure that they're like mortal enemies actually. I've heard that. So all right, where are we at here? Oh my god. Like we have to end this because it's like I said, it's been 3 hours. So see if we can find somebody who's actually who is anybody like playing Legacy right now. Normally I think we would visit the Legacy pit because we're like on Thursdays, but this is a Wednesday night, and so I don't know who's normally streaming on Wednesday nights. I think a lot of people are doing like drafts right now. But I see like Doomwake is playing, Pioneer. Who has a suggestion? Does anybody have a channel in particular they think we should go and visit for the rest of the evening? I'm curious. I want to know if you have an opinion. I'm not opposed to picking a new channel to raid that's not one of our usuals. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, you don't win necessarily every league you play, and so this we still like learned a lot about like how the deck was playing, so we can make our adjustments for next time, and that helps. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any. I don't have anything else for tonight, but all right. I guess failing everything else, we're just gonna. Nobody has a suggestion. I think we're gonna go. Oh, I will send you off to Doomwake. So. Oh, you know what? No, I don't think he's live anymore. I think he's hosting Willie Hall's streams. Okay, well, fuck. If that's the case, then we may as well go directly there and we'll watch that. So. Thank you everybody for being here. If you are watching the replay, I really, really appreciate it if you click like in here, and you should subscribe because then you'll see you can follow all the community posts. Like I'm gonna try to have one up every week. That's my goal. I will put some interesting things so that will show up in your YouTube feed hopefully, and yeah, and I am enjoying the fact that we got to unlock them. It's fun. Yeah, so. Please, like I said, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It mean a lot to me. And then I will see you again next week, and we will probably play this tuned version of this and see if we do better in the next league, because it's hard to imagine that we won't. So, thank you, everybody. And that's all I've got. So let's get our raid ready. Not our best night of Magic, but you know what? It's okay. We had fun anyway. So. Alright, I'll see you guys again next time. Take it easy.